We are striking out south and east of my current location. The rising cost of rents in Bloomington have chased me further and further away from downtown into smaller and smaller apartments. However, I was able to stay close to the IU campus when I moved from my Cottage Grove apartment to my apartment on South Dunn. Homeless people are a feature of my current neighborhood, but as we travel eastward and property values go up, you see less and less homeless people. This neighborhood south of the campus is a mix of student houses and private residence. Once you pass Woodburn, you find faculty for Indiana University, especially around the music school. This is the plush neighborhood that Aiden first encounters in Chapter 3 of Icarus Transfigured, as he explores his new city of Stone's Throw. It is also here where he first meets Jacques Chrétien, who is masquerading as a lawn ornament. Jacques stands halfway between the housed Aiden and the homeless Moses Harbinger, as Aiden looks precariously along the sliding path of downward mobility. These south side houses of Bloomington are sturdier built than the wood frame houses one finds in the near west side neighborhood, where the old hippies abide. Those houses are best known for their front yard gardens, but one feels as the population ages out and is replaced, the new residents are letting these gardens go to weed. One senses a similar neglect on the south side, except here the residents are not paying to have their trees pruned. Ballantyne and Hawthorne are the two luscious streets closest to where I used to live on the south side, but it is difficult to get good pictures nowadays for the unruly trees.
This dog leg off Atwater takes you to my old neighborhood. This turret house is one of the first things you see. Indeed, this house is the first thing you see when you start reading Icarus Transfigured online at my website. Across the street from it is another house featured later in Chapter 21 as the House of the Mysterious Fiancé.
This is all student housing and apartments. Here is my old apartment on Dunn. I could never unpack all my stuff when I lived here because the apartment was too small. I spent most of my time here finishing Icarus Transfigured and building the online version of my novel. I also started composing music at this residence. I did not meditate on my lack of room, since I could go further south to Bryant Park to walk around, or to campus, which was just a block away. In fact, this is very near the dog leg, and though a traffic light is at this intersection now, there wasn't one when I was struck by a car while walking on the sidewalk. Where this woman is jogging is where I was struck. Car collisions were a regular feature for this intersection in the early 2000s. This is my second near-death experience in Bloomington as a pedestrian. The car flipped around onto the sidewalk and clipped me on the shin bone. Had I been standing a foot or two further north, my whole body would have been hit. I did not feel pain immediately and was up walking around before the emergency vehicles arrived. The police would not allow me to leave the area. One officer kept telling me to sit on the grass. He understood, where I did not, that there was money to be made in my injury. Having autism, one's mind is not wired that way. I ended up going to a doctor, but I did not consent to an X-ray when one was offered to me. This was my second mistake. At the time, I thought it was just a bruise, and I settled cheap with the insurance guy because I just wanted to get all of this behind me. As it turns out, my leg injury was more serious than I realized. Had I consented to the X-ray, this would have merited the attention of an injury lawyer and a heftier settlement than what I received. Again, when you have autism, you are not your own best advocate. At the time, trees were smaller here, and this campus parking garage was under construction at the time of my accident. This first tower was only half completed, and this tower became the bookmark art for the Infinity chapter of Icarus Transfigured. Ironically, I had ridden my protagonist into a car accident prior to my own accident. My life began to mirror the pages of my online book.